All right. Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards, and with me is Zeke Baker, and together we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us a part of your day. It's nice to be live, Zeke Baker.
It's nice to be alive, John Edwards.
It's nice to be alive. It's a beautiful day. You said you're dragging a little bit. What's up?
3 weeks, only 2 off days. Tomorrow marks the end of the run.
Now, what are you going to do? So you have the whole weekend off. Have you planned anything you're going to do?
I can't remember if we talked about it on the last show or not, but there might be dinner plans tomorrow night.
Dinner plans?
Might be.
And you're keeping it pretty cryptic?
Might be, my normal dinner accompaniment. Might be a doctor from Kentucky.
Okay. So a doctor from Tennessee and a doctor from Kentucky.
He's a different type of doctor, though.
But you both are doctors.
Yes.
Technically.
Yes.
And you both technically.
We both like good whiskey, too.
He has a PhD. He has a PhD. Now, what is the doctorate for pharmacy? Is it like, it's not, because they say RPH, but what does a doctorate in pharmacy look like?
PharmD. But let's not go anywhere near down this space because it's just going to bore the hell out of everybody.
Well, I'm just curious. So it's PharmD.
PharmD, and as my buddy from the Dakotas asked me once, is that like FARMD?
It's PHAT.
People from Dakota, man, they're not too swole. Which, by the way, I do consider Dakota one big state of just like nothing. Like,
nothing.
Why do they differentiate the two? There's no reason. Just call it Dakota.
You know, I have a whole bunch of family from South Dakota, right?
I don't, but nothing ever surprises me with you, bud.
My dad's side of the family, I have a big contingency outside of Rapid City in South Dakota and Yankton.
You really take Savant to a whole new level sometimes, Edwards.
Well, I think of it more like a Renaissance man, not necessarily Savant. I'm so glad that was on camera.
I think more of like Rain Man instead of Renaissance.
82, 82, 82. Definitely 246 in total. We gotta finish this. 12 minutes to Wapner.
To what?
Wapner.
What's that?
It's the whole friggin' thing they did in Rain Man. He kept talking about
that movie in a long time. Like,
Judge.
I'm big
Judge Wapner.
That's too far back.
Before Judge Marilyn Milian, Judge Wapner was the judge of the People's Court, and he always wanted to go watch the People's Court.
Oh, I always just remember Night Court with Bull. Wasn't that his name?
Yeah, Bull was great.
Yeah,
and that was a great show. But no, it was Wapner. He wanted to go watch Wapner. He always said Charlie Babbitt.
That's the way he said that part a little bit.
Yeah, but main man Charlie Babbitt. Anyways, what we are doing tonight, and before we get into that, I want to thank our friends. Eric Simpson just said, remember Zeke's recent movies are pre-2005. Well, Rain Man, Eric, is pre-2005, just in case.
You went too far back.
Yeah, I'm getting people to not listen anymore. So what I want to let people know first is thank you to the good folks over at dryduck.com. That's www.dryduck.com for making Zeke and I look good. They know we have faces for radio, and they wanted to outfit us and make us look good. So you can go to dryduck.com, use code Bourbon15 for 15% off. And you can get 15% off your purchase at dryduck.com. So what are we doing tonight, Zeke?
We're doing a live show that will also be cut down, snipped, and pinched off at some point and be our podcast that we'll release for tomorrow. Apologies to anyone for redundancy, but in all honesty, we figured not too many folks are going to sit here and watch this entire show. Folks are going to be hit or miss. And at the same time, we didn't want to be up till midnight doing a live show and then trying to record. Call us lazy or thrifty. I don't know.
Well, I'm still going to be up till midnight because I'll have to take this live show and then cut it down for the podcast. But we figured we'd pull the curtain back a little bit. Oh, wow. The one time I'm drinking the same thing as Zeke, and it's a Rockstar energy drink.
Man, they were out of bangs at the store. I was pissed.
Zeke is a big Bang energy fan person, but they don't actually give us anything for that. So you got to work that angle, Zeke. You got to reach out to Bang Energy.
I'll get there one of these days.
But we are going to drink Wild Turkey bottled in bond tonight. And, we'll work some of your comments into the podcast. We just wanted to pull the door back a little bit, pull the curtain back, and let you see how we actually do this. So, Zeke, do you want to get this done?
Sounds good to me, buds.
All right. So typically, guys, how this works is I sit here and I go, Zeke, do you have anything for me this week?
I mean, I think they know that part.
Well, I mean, I cut out some of the beginning until when you just start talking. So just start talking.
All right, John. Well, this actually hit me today at the while I was working. We had an interesting discussion with some Southerners and non-Southerners. So I'm going to put some words on a card. And for the people listening, hopefully it'll make sense once they backtrack into it. But obviously the folks watching will be able to see and get this. I just want to hear how you're going to pronounce these words to see, if you really hit the Southern dialect yet, if you've picked it up or not.
Oh, God.
And maybe not dialect. That might not be the right word. It's just a quirky thing about at least Middle Tennessee for sure. I didn't get this too much in Georgia, but it's big here.
But people know your handwriting is shit, right?
No, I'm being slow today. I'm taking my time.
Okay.
All right. So for this one, I just want you to use the word I put up there and say like, hey, I got to run to, and then say the word. Okay.
This is going to be a long cold open, but yeah, go ahead. Go.
All right.
I got to run to Kroger.
That didn't work too well.
You want me to say it a different way?
Nope. It just meant like in your own favorite didn't work too well. So now we're going to try this one. Same situation. I'm
going to go see Zeke at Walgreens.
Strike two, John. Really struggling here. For this last one, I'm not going to write the word, but so my last iPhone, and actually the last two iPhones, how would you describe them or what happened to them like in a one word that starts with a B?
Broke.
Hey, you got one right finally.
What did I say wrong on the first two?
Well, everybody knows that around here you're going to Kroger's.
Oh, see, I have a big pet peeve with putting S on the end. It's the people that say Nordstrom's, Pennies. The problem is I could say it, I could get around the Southern dialect, but I still don't think it's proper to pluralize something that should be singular. Hence my biggest pet peeve with dads drinking bourbon, how people go apostrophe S for dads instead of just DADS. Because there's two of us and it's plural.
But it's also funny. No one ever puts the S in Walgreens. They just say I gotta go to Walgreens.
I think you could still use correct English and have a Southern background or a Southern dialect.
Well, and the kicker on the broke versus broken is how everybody in the South just says, "Nah, man, it's broke." Not broke yet.
Yeah.
Like, "Nah, man, phone broke."
You brokes.
So that was my good laugh for the day. Was just the lack thereof, or I guess addition and subtraction of letters at the end of words.
You want to end that at brokes?
That works for me. I just figured I'd explain it for anybody that might have missed my dumb humor. I am on too many days of work in a row. Sorry.
No, it's fine. All right. Now we do a little pause. Take a breath. I'm giving them the tour. This is the tour of how we do a podcast.
I feel like you're describing your first time.
Now we take a pause. I catch a breath. Why is this a better cold open than the first one? All right. You ready for this?
Do it.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards, and with me, as always, is Zeke Baker. And together, we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us a part of your day. How the hell are you, Zeke Baker?
Delirious.
You are delirious. How many days has it been in a row that you've been working?
I did 12 in a row, off Saturday, Sunday, then Monday through Friday this week, counting tomorrow or today when folks will hear this. So more days than I care to do. Literally, you get that point of where you're tired, and then after that, you just reach that like next level of like blurriness. You just laugh because you have nothing else to do, and your body's so worn out. It hits that extra gear of I don't even know how I'm standing right now, but I'm going.
You are such a baby. And I just want to say, until you are home working your day job with a kid by yourself. So I have the day job, I have this night gig, all the stuff I do for Bourbon Charity, and a 4-year-old at home at the same time. I just want to pass. I said, when all of this is over, I want to get a hotel by myself for a night and just sleep.
What kind of bathtub's it going to have?
I'm more of a shower guy. Is that too much info for you?
I mean, I would see that in the normal light, but I mean, I feel like if you're talking about like a quiet, relaxing evening away, you want like some big like jacuzzi tub or some shit.
I mean, if there's a hot tub at the hotel, I will go down to the hot tub, but I don't really care.
No, don't go scaring the guests. It's COVID and then you and then shirtless. No.
Are they going to think a bear got loose in the hotel? Like if I go out to East Tennessee, if I walk around with my shirt off, you think like someone's going to try and trap me?
Only you can prevent forest fires.
We ought to get me one of those hats. I'll do a show in one of those next time. But before we get started here, I want to let you know tonight's show is sponsored by CaskCartel.com, changing the industry standard as to how you get your alcohol. Right now, everybody's staying home. Things are just starting to open up yet, but maybe you still want a convenient play. You want to get stuff shipped directly to your door so you don't have to go out as much. Go to CaskCartel.com, see for yourself. They have all sorts of spirits, whatever it is you want. They have, obviously, as an online retailer, some of the allocated stuff is going to be priced a little bit higher. Maybe some of the allocated stuff is going to be priced higher. So go ahead and I don't like the way I said that. So go ahead and check it out. Get it at your own risk. What? See, this is how it goes. This is unabashed. This is obviously some of that allocated stuff is going to be a little bit higher, but your daily drinkers should be priced right. So go ahead, go to CaskCartel.com, check it out for yourself, and also follow them on Instagram at CaskCartel. You can see that they always do cool giveaways for their fans and their followers. They're about to give away some Davies County bourbon. I heard that today. So if you follow them, you might get a sample. You never know. So check them out, CaskCartel.com and CaskCartel on Instagram. Zeke, do you know what we're drinking today?
I think we're sticking with the turkey theme we've had for a good week and a half now. Granted, this is a different turkey offering, but we've been on a good little coincidental run here.
I know we have some smoked turkey. We have some smoked turkey, which is great. Looks great in the deli shelf in your fridge at home.
I even got mine out. Oh, me and that camera get along.
I had a hard time putting the sticker on though. It keeps kind of what?
I showed you where to line it up.
No, I know. I lined it up, but I feel like it kind of folds up a little bit sometimes, and you get the air bubbles in there real easy on this one.
Well, trust me, I did about 30 last night, and we'll probably do at least 30 more in the next couple of days. You get it down pretty good, buds.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I think for like the 3 that I had to do, maybe 5. And I drove them to people's houses. I was like Bourbon Santa Claus and went and dropped off for 4 people.
Everybody except for poor Tim. He even offered you free food.
Sorry, say that again.
Everybody except for poor Tim. He even offered you free food.
Well, the sad thing is that Tim reached out to me. I didn't know that. I mean, he lives closer to you, so I assumed you keep the bottle. But then all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, I happen to be in Franklin." I'm like, "I just dropped everything off with Zeke last night." But we are drinking Wild Turkey bottled in bond today. It is 17 years old, 100 proof, 50% ABV. This is the second bottled in bond Wild Turkey has ever released, besides American Spirit in 2007. So if you think about that, all the releases the Wild Turkey has done, they have only released 2 bottled in bonds. Do you want to know a reason why that might be, Zeke?
Actually, that's interesting, especially when there was that era where bottle and bond was just the tits, unless they just always wanted the 101 proof, and for bottle and bond, you got to be 100.
No, you want to know what one of the requirements for bottled in bond is?
I mean, I know the guts of it.
Do you know that bottled in bond has to be distilled by one distiller?
Oh,
And maybe, you have Jimmy, you have Eddie, you have Bruce doing stuff there. One of the reasons why they probably haven't been able to do bottled in bond before is because Jimmy and Eddie have been doing the distilling together. Now, Master's Keep is that label. It's just Eddie's name on that label. That's not something Jimmy is doing with Eddie. The Master's Keep is all Eddie. So that is how we get another bottle and bond here.
Interesting nuance.
Yeah, fun fact for you. Now, this is all out of the Camp Nelson Rick houses and comes in at $175. There are 14,400 bottles of this available to the public.
Pretty good yield. I guess that's consistent with the other ones, correct?
Yeah, pretty consistent with the other ones that are out there.
About what you see from Four Roses small batch.
Pretty much in line with what you're going to get with the limited edition small batch from Four Roses. That is pretty on point. Now, were you very excited about this one?
I mean, I'm always excited about new releases.
You're just out for the new jams. I mean, I
Well, you
I
have to
find it funny.
because everybody's going to ask you about it. So
Say that again.
I said you almost have to be excited about it because folks are going to ask you about it and what you think, and it interjects new banter into the various conversations we all have throughout the day.
I find it interesting that you're excited about it because I didn't think you were excited about anything since 2004. Like anything new.
That's not true.
I mean, that's the last you really know of anything.
I got a new iPhone these days. You kidding me?
You don't even like whiskey that was made before 2004.
I mean, actually, that'd probably be back in '96 would be, my bread and butter spot.
And it's before 2004.
Well, still, there's a big 8-year window. I don't know. It's kind of tough.
Anyways, this was a very highly anticipated release. A lot of people that are close to Wild Turkey couldn't wait to get this. We have to thank our friend Andy at Campari for getting us a bottle of this. So thank you very much, Andy. Now, obviously, even if we are given the bottle as a media sample, that does not affect our review. That being said, let's go into what the actual review is. Zeke, what do you think about this Wild Turkey bottled in bond?
I tasted a few nips off the sample you left earlier in the week, and I was interested to see coming back to it a few days later, if airtime, so to speak, had done much to it or moved it around. I can't tell too much difference. Maybe a little hint more of sweet is in there, but this is nose-wise is very oak forward to me.
That's all you got on the nose?
I mean, that's where it is for me. It's very oak, a little bit of sweet behind me. I mean, it has opened up some. When I first had this, it was legit just straight oak. I'm picking up a little bit more sugar and sweetness now, but it even with that, and kind of the, I don't know, 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 the it's like a weird balance between light nips of cherry in there, then the oak kind of hits you again, and there's a little more sweet.
So if it helps, what I said, and I think you and I are fairly in line with this, which is funny because that doesn't happen much. I said I got oak with cherry maple syrup.
I could see that a little bit. I think kind of what almost throws it off as well is simply, all right, it's 17 years, so it's up there. We don't see too much that's aged that long. But the oak, it has a uniqueness to it. And that's almost kind of been what's thrown me off when I even revisit it. It doesn't have like a pre-fire smell to it. It doesn't smell overly, aged or charred, or give any hints that it may be bitter or anything in those lines. So again, I think that's really where I just almost get derailed, is the fact of, you can tell it's oak, but it really doesn't remind me of any other product that I can think of having almost at all.
No, but the thing that I think threw me a little bit is, what the cherry maple syrup reminded me of? It was almost like, when you go to IHOP and they bring out all the different syrups you can get, like you can get the blueberry one, you can get the cherry one, you could get a raspberry, you could get, like, they have all these different flavored.
No clue there. Did not know that.
Is this something only a big guy would know?
I mean, I remember going to the IHOP in college a few times when we didn't go to Waffle House, but I don't remember that aspect of it.
You've never taken your kids down to IHOP?
John, I try not to totally just bomb my kids with sugar. Thank you.
Well, I do that, and I take her to the playground, let her run it all off. But it's a very rare occasion that I will take her to IHOP. I think I've only taken her twice. But they have these different syrups that they'll bring around, and they'll say, they're all these artificial flavored ones. I'm like, give me the regular one with just the regular sugar. I don't need to add some of that artificial. And it's not a bad flavor, this oak cherry maple syrup, but it's definitely, and the oak was hard to get past. And I kind of agree with you that there's like a weird funkiness to it. So to get that cherry in the syrup, I had to get past that. And I'm not saying hard in like a difficult way, like it's off-putting. It's just, that is the first thing you notice. It is the predominant thing you notice, is that oak. But there are hints of other stuff back there.
I mean, I would 86 one part of that description is I would not use the word funk, because we all know what turkey funk is, and therefore I would not associate turkey funk in this product.
That was a Freudian slip, my friend. You are right. It's not funk like in turkey funk. I meant just funk like it's funky, like not cold Medina, but like there's just something there that's a little different. Like there's.
Are you using a Tone Loc line right there?
Maybe.
Wow. I was like, did he really just drop that out?
I did.
You must have been reading a new book on stepping up your humor game. You didn't think I was going to catch that, did you?
But yes, funk, like I don't want anybody thinking it's a turkey funk. But anyways, continue. What do you get on the taste here?
Man, palate, this thing's just big oak bomb. And when I say big, it's not overly viscous or thick. You don't really ever pick up a rye spice, even at the back. You don't get what a lot of us think of as far as kind of a little bit of a turkey signature, where that rye always seems to just kind of grow and build towards the back end and remind you that there are 3 grains in there. And then the oak hangs. I mean, the finish on this thing's damn near shy of epic, as far as, to me, how long that flavor just sticks with you. It could be because it's such a unique note and hardly anything has it. But man, I mean, a minute or two later, back of your tongue, you still taste this 110%, and it's noticeable.
Yeah, the funny thing for me is I think that cherry, well, yeah, for me, I think the cherry carries over into the taste, but and it's all a dry oak on the taste for me. And then moving into the finish, it's almost like a little bit of big red chewing gum with some pepper on there. It's just kind of like a dry spice heat with the oak in the finish. I agree, it's super long, but I almost get it's not a rye spice. It's just like it's not a rye spice. It's more of like a heat. And
Well, I was going to ask because you told me when you first tasted this, even before you got the sample, you thought it was hot, and I wondered if that was still a note for you, if it had moved around.
it had moved around a lot. And the one thing I would tell people with this is let it open up. Don't let that first sip be how you're going to judge this. And I know I posted a picture over the weekend when I got this bottle and I said, hey, got Wild Turkey bottled in bond. And everybody goes, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And I said, I'm reserving judgment until it opens up because I know that Cornerstone needed a couple days to open up. A lot of the Masters Keep need a couple days, but this is not something that you can have on first crack and give it your A plus or your F. You need to let it open a little bit more.
Yeah, and kind of to loop back around as far as my initial notes when I had this. It was funny because Patrick Steve even messaged me, and very simply, I just said this doesn't have the saltiness and rye kick that a lot of Nelson did as far as last year's pick. Less smoky, but more sweet, kind of like a oh shoot, wrong one. Whoops.
What are you talking about? Smoked turkey?
No, we're talking about the bottled and bond thing. Hold on. Where did I?
But the finish, what I would say while you're looking that up, the finish, it's not a hot heat. It's just, I mean, where I get the heat in this one, where the first crack, I think it was everywhere. This heat now is just, it's just there on the back of the palate and on the finish, and it doesn't burn. It's just a little bit more hot.
Yeah. So he asked me what I thought, and I said, depends on how much you like oak. And I still think this really holds pretty true. Is it's not sweet oak, but it's not bitter. It's not overly tannic. And then I just said, this sounds weird, but it's just effing oak. And I couldn't describe it any other way because I don't know of anything that comes off the same way this does. I just kind of ended it with this is a super unique pour. And I really think it is in that sense of the age, the profile, what we would think and expect, out of anything wild turkey, especially, hyper aged, as I like to say. And
I still don't think that's right.
Well, how many 17-year things you see out there, John Boy?
I still don't think you use hyper aged, and I think hyper aged means to age it more quickly.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's on the boards, man. I'm not the only one. There's countless folks backing me on this one.
I don't know.
Final verdict here.
So I do want to mention where it's oaky. I don't think it's over oaked like an MGP that gets too old or hits 13, 14 years. It's not over oaked in that sense. It's just the oak taste. So if you don't mind that, it's a very good pour. It's a very unique pour. If you hate oak altogether, stay away from this one.
That's kind of tough almost because, and just to throw out there, you never know what product someone has had to where the oak was really off-putting.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, this isn't, that kind of, salty bitterness that a lot of MGP gets when it gets too old. It's not overly tannic like a wet toothpick in your mouth. It's just been, sitting there forever. it's unique. I mean, it's not the same as the Heaven Hill 27 was, but that's the only thing that I can think of that I've had, anytime recently that had that dominant of an oak profile, but it still wasn't just a complete turn off.
Maybe that Evan Williams 24 that we compared to the Heaven Hill 27.
Yeah, those batches vary though. Damn, that's tough.
Yeah, but it's nothing about this is like off-putting to me after I let it open up. I would say like that first sip again, I like it. 175, I think. I mean, if one fell into my lap at retail, I'm not going to turn it away. But I probably would have liked to see this more at 150. And I think what Wild Turkey has done from last year, they bumped the price of this release up to 175 from 140 where it was before. And I don't think it's ever going to come back down. I just would love to see this kind of come back down to that 140, 150 range where it was before. That being said, this is what the price is. So I'm not going to harp on that too much. But if one of these fell into my lap retail, I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay getting it at a bar. Not even probably. I definitely would not pay secondary for this whatsoever.
Well, I think Turkey's done good, at least in the consumer eyes. Yeah, the price is a little higher than what people like, but at the same time, it's almost kind of in a unique sweet spot to combat secondary, because I don't think this release or the rye are really going to jump up high enough to where folks are going to take the time to chase this down for the minimal margin that's most likely going to be there. Therefore, the consumers, and especially the big diehard turkey fans, aren't going to have to worry as much about probably being able to get their hands on one of these.
And I think there's some place right now that you could go get Master's Keep on the shelf retail, and there's not a lot of people that are going in and buying them all up. And maybe that is to your point, Zeke, of what you were just saying. And maybe that's why people aren't doing it. But, it's easy enough if you look hard enough. If you go to more than one store, you're probably going to find a Master's Keep someplace.
I'm a share on this.
You're a share?
Yeah, it'd be a fun bottle split. I don't need a full one for myself by any means. If I was at a bar with friends and they hadn't had it, and especially if it was one of the guys that I know that prefers an oakier profile than I do, I would definitely encourage them or us to get a pour or two, and whatever. Like I said, I don't see myself ever getting through 25 ounces of this one, but it would be fun to share and shoot the breeze over with good friends.
I think this is one of those things that really, really grows on me the more I drink it.
You're gonna start drinking scotch soon?
I already do drink scotch.
Well, I meant like more frequently.
No, but this is something that grows on me. I mean, nothing about this is peaty or anything like that. I still think that this will change the longer it's open. I'd really be interested to see. I think that oaky profile is always going to be there, but I think it's going to smooth out and be a little bit softer. Not smooth in the way that everybody hates the word smooth. More like smooth as in round out the edges. What?
I was wondering where you're going for your analogy with smooth. I was expecting more after you'd been on a roll for a little bit earlier.
No, I'm saying like smooth, like polished like a rock. Like you smooth out the rock. You polish it. Just like, I don't know. I don't even have a good simile or metaphor for that. Anyways, want to let you know that all of our glassware is provided by premiumbarproducts.com. There's some great folks over there, Carson, Vicky, Janie. If you want to get laser etched glassware, and I'm not talking about the stuff that comes off in the dishwasher, I'm talking about the stuff that is actually laser etched into your glass, permanent, and we'll always be there. Check out premiumbarproducts.com. They have Glens, Wee Glens. They have the Distiller's Tasting Glass, all sorts of other glass like the Tuit, the Neat, and you can get them engraved and personalized for yourself. They also have bar tools and all sorts of other things. And if you need a bigger order, Premium Bar Products is where you're going to go and get the smaller order for your house. But if you're a bourbon group, you're a store, you're a distillery, and you want to do a bigger order, reach out to me and I will hook you up with the folks at Premium Bar Products and they can help you out. So go to premiumbarproducts.com, check out for yourself, and thank you for giving us glasses to taste from. Zeke, your final vote on this is a bottle share?
Yeah, bottle share, and then a couple of housekeeping items from my end I'll throw out there since we missed them on the front end. Smoked turkey, those are rolling out. Should definitely be hitting the streets and getting going on Monday. Wolfpack KC 10-year bourbon pick. At least some of those will drop this weekend. If I can figure out how to do it, which hopefully I can, there will be a password to access the form to reserve a bottle. The password was mentioned in our Nashville Barrel Company show that came out Wednesday. If you haven't listened to that, please check it out. That will be the easiest way to get the first access to those bottles. That's about all I got, other than for some reason I still have this weird awkward moment of when you say pulling the curtain back. I think about that commercial they're running right now where the chick goes to like surprise her husband. It turns out to be like the dad in the shower. I just I don't know, somewhere you blend into that and it's really messing with my head.
Well, go figure. I'm still a buy on this. I just had another sip. I'm still a buy on this. Oh,
I can tell you've been warming up to it the whole time. Although it was funny when you're like, it's hot. It's hot.
It was hot in the beginning, but I've been warming up to it. I'm in. I'm a buy. It took me, that first sip was rough. I'm not gonna, I took a sip and I'm like, I don't want to say anything yet because I don't know how I'm feeling about this. And I'm warming up to it a lot. Well, I'll let it snuggle with me.
I will say then what you should try, since I know you have them both at your disposal right there as well. Take a little bit of this one in the glass, and you put a little bit of smoked turkey in there. It dials back that oak a little bit and shows a little more sweetness. I'll leave it at that.
I'll give that a try. Guys, go ahead. Y'all go ahead and find us on Facebook at Dad's Turkey Bourbon, Twitter at Bourbon Dads, Instagram at Dad's Turkey Bourbon. Find us wherever you download your podcast. Wherever it is, we are on it. And chances are you already know that because you're listening to us right now. Leave us an open and honest review, just like we leave open and honest reviews about the whiskey we drink. Zeke, where else can the folks find us?
Good old Music City, USA.
Cheers.
Ciao.
All right. That is the magic. Now we'll just shoot the shit with all of you.
There you go, John boy.
Oh, you got cowtails.
Oh man, I saw it when I was in the store earlier. I was like, we're going to the show tonight. I may as well grab one of these so that anybody hears my dumb ass mention these things, on at least our pinhook shows. This is the cowtail doodad thingamajigger.
I wanted to know what those things look like.
Oh, so look, this is actually perfect because you can see this shit. Hold on. So it's like this light colored caramel. Where you going, doofus?
I still have to edit tonight.
I know.
So I had to get the little chippy thing here.
So you see, you got like the light brown caramel with marshmallow in the middle.
Yeah.
And then there's just like confection powdered sugar stuff on there or something. I'm telling you, it's like spot on.
I don't know. We're down. Nobody wants to watch us tonight, by the way.
It's because your hair looks bad.
It always looks bad. You know that. I mean, I shouldn't be anything. This is not going to tell you that I have bad hair whatsoever. Everybody knows I just don't have hair.
I think you got too much black going on there. You got to lighten up the mood.
They wonder why I always dress in black.
I don't know, because somebody told you it was slimming looking.
Why you'll never hear or never see blight colors on my back. I'm doing awful. It's because I'm doing two things at once. I'm getting our podcast ready, but we're down to Cowtail's #1 candy in Eastern Kentucky growing up. Does anyone have any questions for us? Anything going on? We will hang out if you want us to, or I will let Zeke get to bed because I know he's tired.
Now I got to clean this place up for Dr. Pat tomorrow.
Oh,
I
that
got
too.
to straighten up the clubhouse.
Are you going to leave? I mean, I was there the other day dropping stuff off while you were at work. I mean, it was pretty messy. At least the bed was clean upstairs.
Oh, the upstairs is fine. I mean, I don't go up there for anything, but no,
You just go up and take a shower, I think.
Yeah, no, I'll come over and work out in the mornings on the days I have late shift.
So how do you work out there? What do you do? Do you have weights? What do you?
Sit-ups, push-ups, leg stuff. All calisthenics. I ain't doing any weights. Think about it.
That sounds gross. Leg stuff.
Well, like I said, butt stuff or something. Jesus.
Oh, man. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. We're going to go ahead and get off of here and go ahead and go to dryduck.com. Use code Bourbon15 for 15% off. We hope you liked a little behind the scenes here. If you like it a lot, we'll do it again. I could tell by kind of the viewership right now that we might not want to do it again. Maybe some things are just better left for the podcast itself. Let the podcast be the podcast and let this be us hanging out and shooting the shit with other people.
Peloton. I ain't got money like that shit.
You know, the better thing to do is go on Facebook Marketplace and get the Peloton.
Where am I going to put that damn thing?
I don't know. In your B&B. Do it as a perk for your guests that come.
Nobody comes here to work out. Shit.
You could say, listen, we have a Peloton in there if you would like to work out while you're on vacation.
It's called vacation for a reason.
Well, some people like to work out on their vacation. What if you have a very, you people that are there that are very health conscious?
Go get on the pedal tavern and wear your ass out.
Well, you should be a super host and you should take care of these people.
I've had super host status for years. Thank you.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Find out something new every day.
Yeah, you know what out.
Cheers.
Night, bub. Mm-hmm.